Hello, you guys. Welcome to my van. My name is Alyssa Vanilla. This channel is also called Alyssa Vanilla, and I am going to be doing a Q&A today. I'm gonna get my most commonly asked questions out of the way, start with some basics, and then we'll get into a little bit deeper, more intimate questions, and you'll get to know me personally. First question, Alyssa, will you ever be doing YouTube channel memberships? Okay, that question was from me. But yes, I have officially launched YouTube channel memberships. And I'm super excited about it because I used to have a Patreon a long time ago and I closed it because I don't know. I just didn't feel like I deserved to have one. But now I feel like I really miss the community that I had on there. Obviously, I love all of my subscribers, but it is nice to have a little base where I can connect with you guys more personally, one-on-one, because my comment section can run amok sometimes, and sometimes I don't see your comments because whatever reason. So it is nice to be able to finally have that space again where I can have more manageable access to you guys and you guys to me. I recently learned on iOS devices like iPhones, the join button does not display, which is really annoying. So I will be leaving a link to the channel memberships in the description. I'll make a community post, whatever, so that you can find it and come join me if you'd like. Can't wait, and I will see you there. I apologize about the outside noise. I have all of the doors open in my van right now because it's like 90 degrees in Texas and it's really hot, and I'm wearing sweatpants. Why did I do that? I don't know. I thought it was gonna be raining, but it's not. Nevertheless, we shall continue. If I look sweaty, no, I don't. Okay, so basic question number one, how old are you? I am 26, but my birthday is next week. So by the time you watch this, I will be 27. Yes, I'm a Libra, whatever that means. I accept it. How long have you lived in a vehicle? I moved into my car late summer of 2020, so this will be my 3rd year. Yeah. It's been a great time. No complaints. What do I film on? I film on my iPhone. For the longest time, I think I filmed on an iPhone 11. Recently, I upgraded to the iPhone 14 Pro, and I don't even know if the quality is better, to be honest, but a comment I get frequently is, I want to start a channel, but I don't have this, that, and the other. Babe, if you have a phone, if you're watching this on a phone, you can make a channel. No excuses. Do it. What do I use to edit? I use an app called LumaFusion. It's been wonderful. I've been using it for the past 2 years. I used to edit on my iPad, but recently I realized I can do the exact same type of editing on my phone. So I literally do everything on my phone. Filming, editing, thumbnails, whatever. I don't use a laptop for anything ever. I don't even know where my laptop is. Why did you start living in a van? Originally, I moved into my car. I was living in Los Angeles at the time. I knew that I wanted to go on a really long road trip. And of course, for anyone who's looking for travel, usually they kind of end up watching van life videos, which is what I did. And I wanted a van so bad, but I couldn't afford one at the time. So I wanted to get an SUV, and my dream SUV was a Honda Element. So I was searching far and wide for Honda Element. I lived in LA at the time. I was having my mom search for Honda Elements in San Antonio. And every time we were about to find one, because they're pretty hard to find, the deal would fall through. And I just thought, dang, is this a sign that I'm not supposed to be doing this life or what? But I was coming home from dog walking one day, which was my job in LA. And I decided to just lay in the back of my car, my trunk, my tiny little Chevy Sonic, which is a compact car, and lo and behold, I fit. So I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do van life in this. And I did. And I said I wanted to make history. And that's what this is. So we all know 2020, COVID hit, everything shut down. I was gonna just take a really long road trip in my car, but I was living in Los Angeles, which had really strict lockdowns. Being stuck in the city was the opposite of what I like to do. So instead of taking a road trip, I decided I'm just gonna move permanently into my car because I couldn't do anything anyway. Everything was shut down. I thought I might as well be living, you know, out in the forest somewhere alone. So I ended my lease in my apartment, moved into my car, thought it was gonna be temporary, and then it wasn't. And here I am. Go-to snack on the road. This is not even a snack, but yerba mate, 100%. I can't live without them. Next, a very frequently asked question. Would you ever get a van life pet? The answer is no. So many people tell me to get a dog for safety reasons, and of course I totally understand that. But the thing is, a pet is a lifelong commitment. If I get a dog, I don't want it to just be solely to protect me. That's gonna be my life partner. And just the way that my lifestyle is right now, sometimes I just want to spontaneously, you know, leave the country or, I don't know, wander around a mall for like 2 hours, and I just don't feel like that would be fair to a pet. Especially in the space that I'm in now. I don't think a pet would live comfortably in here with me. So no, I will not be getting one. I want it to be fair to the animal and to myself. And I have no idea what my future is going to look like. For right now, I want to do solo travel van life for a long time. I don't know. Things could be up in the air. And I think same as having a child, I would wait until my life situation is more stable to bring another living being into it. But I do absolutely love animals. If you have a pet, I will love it like it's my own. I love my friends who have pets. I love petting their pets. I love giving them scratches and cuddles. I'm a cool pet aunt, but not a pet owner for right now. Favorite travel destination? In the States, obviously a lot of you guys already know, it's the Redwoods. I talk about it all the time. I love that place so much. It's so special to me. However, there's a place that I love just as much that I just never talk about, and I've never gone there. I want to go there eventually, maybe not in a van though. My other favorite place in the States to travel is New Orleans, Louisiana. It's the best city in the whole country. The culture is unmatched, but the crime rate is also unmatched, and I just don't think I would feel very safe living in my van in New Orleans. But I love that place. You just have to go to know what I'm talking about. The vibe, it's palpable. You can feel in the air the culture. There's live jazz on the street. I love New Orleans, and I'm gonna go back as soon as I can. Outside of the States, Japan, no question. I love going to Japan. It's so safe, it's so beautiful, so efficient, so clean. I was just there at the beginning of the year and I can't wait to go back. I think that's pretty good for the basics. Maybe we should slip into something a little more comfortable now. I look like a freaking baked potato. It's so hot in here. What is the hardest part of being a van life YouTuber? I really like this question because I get a lot of questions about van life, but I don't get a lot about the YouTube side of it. There are a few things that kind of suck about being a van life YouTuber, to be honest. Oh, frick, it's so hot. It's a great job. I cannot complain. However, I think the most complicated issue with doing van life and being a YouTuber, filming my travels and filming myself living in a vehicle has allowed me to do this full time, which is like a dream come true. The only thing is it's a double-edged sword because it has also taken away my favorite part about solo travel, which is the anonymity, just being able to go anywhere and be unknown and just be a silent observer, exploring all these beautiful places and then leaving. Now it's almost like you kind of have to watch your back, because I've even gotten comments from people who are like, oh, I saw you in your van but I didn't want to disturb you, which is very nice and it's very considerate, but it just goes to show that there are people who see me when I don't see them. And of course, the bigger I get, the more people are going to recognize me, and I am just now no longer as alone as I used to be. And that does kind of suck a little bit. Still, to me, all the pros of doing this heavily outweigh the cons, but there are some cons, and that would be mine. Do you have any creeper stories like the guy who was offering you water? Yes, I have one worse, and I kind of used to talk about it on my Patreon, but I never divulged the full story. And hopefully one day I can. Sharing any aspect of your life on the internet, you open yourself up to judgment, of course. And when you share a particularly vulnerable moment, it is hard to hear people basically talk shit about you in a vulnerable moment. That sucks for anybody. My most popular video is a very vulnerable moment. In fact, when that happened, I took like 3 weeks to post that video because I really just, number one, I didn't want to relive it while I was editing. But number two, I didn't want to post it. But I felt like it was important to post because this lifestyle is heavily romanticized and it is awesome, but there are times like that when it gets very real and very scary. And once that video started going viral, there were a lot of commentary channels making entire videos about my video. And also there were so many comments constantly because that video went viral. And there were a lot of supportive people talking about it. It seemed 50-50 to me, where there'd be people saying that I did a good job, and then also people saying that I was an idiot, that I was stupid for solo traveling, that I shouldn't be doing this, that I got what I deserved, blah, blah, blah. And to just open YouTube and see that every single day, especially when something was vulnerable and hard to put out there in the first place, it definitely makes you not want to do that ever again. So one day I would like to share, but I'm just not going to right now, maybe later. Okay, and here's a big one. How do you make money? At this point, it's probably obvious, mostly YouTube. When I first started, I was living off of savings. I was a dog walker in LA when I moved into my car, and I had savings from that. But I also kept doing on-demand pet care, even in the beginning when I lived in Arizona. So basically gig work, which a lot of nomads do because it's something that you can do from anywhere, anytime. But then I got monetized, I think in 2021, summer of 2021. I started to make a little bit of money, but that was okay to make a little bit because my cost of living was super low living in a vehicle. So I just lived off of that, bought very little, saved whatever I could. And then at the beginning of this year, I started to get legitimate sponsorships. So that has been a great additional income. And then also there is Amazon affiliates. I make maybe $30 a month off of that. It's something. Do you guys, do you see how wet my underarms are? Ew. Next, another question I get in my DMs a lot. How much money does it cost a month to live in a van? This is a really difficult question to answer. It depends on A, why you're doing van life, and B, what are you doing when you're doing van life? There have been times like this past summer when I was on a non-stop road trip. I was traveling and going. And then there were times like this winter where I spent the entire winter in one location. Months on end, I did not move. So my cost of living varied drastically. And of course, it'll be the same for you. It depends on if you're going to do van life to travel. And if you're traveling, are you going to be free dispersed camping? Are you going to be paying for campsites? Are you going to be visiting national parks? Are you going to be going out to eat? Are you going to be cooking all your own food? Are you living in a van just to save money? Will you have a full-time job? Are you going to be working remotely? What kind of vehicle are you driving? What is the gas mileage like? So I can't answer for you how much you'll need to live in a van per month because I can't even answer for myself. It's constantly changing depending on what I'm doing. What I can say is that no matter what I'm doing while living in a vehicle, it is significantly cheaper than living in traditional stationary housing. Next question, do I feel safe as a solo female traveler? Yes, 100%. I don't even have to think about it. I don't think I've really ever felt unsafe except that one time, which you guys all have seen, and probably a lot of you found me through that video. Aside from that, I've never felt unsafe, and that truly was a one-off. I think a lot of people do van life and never have an experience like that. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. So there are definitely times when I'm camping, dispersed camping way out in BLM land, and things can be a bit sketchy. Maybe a vehicle will drive by slowly, whatever, and that will make me feel on guard, but it doesn't make me feel unsafe automatically. One time I was camping, it was actually a few months ago this summer in California, and it was the middle of the night, and this truck drove by and then stopped in front of my vehicle. I was the only one out there, and just shined its headlights into my vehicle. I was like, what the fuck? They were a few yards away from me, so it's like I was parked like how I am now, and they would be, if you can see the road, on the road, shining into where I was camped, but it was still weird. But in those situations, you know, I thought, okay, if this person is gonna fuck around, they are also going to find out. I just continued going on with my night, you know, like what am I gonna do? Get out and fight them? No. But did I keep that thing on me? Yes. Yeah, if I gotta go full Django, then I gotta go full Django. Of course, I don't ever want that, but it is what it is. You can't live in fear. The likelihood that somebody's gonna break into your vehicle and murder you or kidnap you is so low. I don't think that has ever happened. There are some unfortunate instances where van lifers have died. Obviously, I think all of us know the Gabby Petito story, but she wasn't murdered because she was a van lifer or a YouTuber. That was unfortunately a really sad situation where she was murdered by her partner, and I don't think it really had anything to do with van life. I think for the most part, it's pretty safe as long as you don't go around looking for trouble. I felt much less safe living in an apartment by myself in the middle of LA. I don't feel unsafe sleeping at a Love's where there's 24-hour people coming in and out and watching and cameras and security. So to summarize, yes, I feel safe. I mean, if I constantly felt unsafe, I would not be able to live this lifestyle. I feel good. How do you deal with the anxiety of solo travel? Let me just say that I do have general anxiety. I think most people do, but it used to be really bad. It used to be a lot worse. And what's crazy, a lot of people don't know, is that I had really, really bad driving anxiety basically the whole time that I've been doing this. I feel like now this is the first year where I have felt 100% totally chill driving anywhere. Anytime at all. But before, I tried to avoid highways, I tried to avoid major cities, I avoided driving in bad weather, I avoided driving in rain, I avoided driving in the dark. I wouldn't do anything because I just was really nervous about driving. Honestly, I was probably more nervous about driving than the actual solo travel or camping aspect. And I'm sure a lot of people are not gonna like this answer, but the best way to deal with the anxiety of solo traveling is exposure therapy. The more you do it, the more you realize this is just way of life for some people. It's not any more scary. It comes with different risks, but I don't think it inherently comes with more risk than traditional living. There are some pretty obvious things you can do to make yourself feel better. Always have a cell phone. Make sure you don't go anywhere without signal for a while until you're used to it. Have somebody know where you're at all times. If you are gonna go somewhere without signal, make sure somebody knows when you're supposed to return. Know how to defend yourself. hello, and that's about it, you know? Just keep on keeping on. The last question I will go ahead and answer, because I don't want this to be too long. I hate really long videos where they're just mostly talking, so I'm not going to do that to you. I get a lot of questions about relationships and van life. So I got questions like, would I consider having a boyfriend while doing van life? Would I date another nomad? Or would I date somebody with a traditional type of lifestyle? When you live in a van and you're a solo traveler, relationships in general are hard. That's one of the trade-offs of this lifestyle. And I haven't really seen that many people talk about it. It can get very lonely. And it's hard to make not just romantic relationships, but friendships too, because you're never in the same place. It's definitely hard to date. And honestly, while I'm doing this, I have just relinquished the idea of ever being in a relationship, period. Because it just, unless I do the entire thing long distance, it's just not going to work, which kind of sucks. But right now I really love what I'm doing, and I'm okay with being single for a few more years if it means that I get to still adventure and explore. Now, I'm not open to the idea of a relationship. If it happens, it happens. If I do meet someone and they're also a nomad and we can make it work, of course, I would love that. If they're not a nomad and somehow we can make it work, I don't see that happening, but if we can do it, then of course I'm gonna be open to that. I'm always gonna be open to true love. I totally get why some people wait until they have a partner and then do van life with their partner, because then you have someone to be around all the time and you don't have to worry about wasting your best years living in a vehicle while everybody else is getting married, having children. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. Or else, again, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'm having a great time and I have no regrets about how I've lived. Maybe one day I will want a relationship and I will want to do this part-time or not at all. But for now, you guys still got me. It's just me and you at a safe, comfortable distance. I feel like it also gives me an opportunity to work on myself and be the best version of myself, so that when I am ready to enter a relationship, I know that it's not due to codependency reasons, which sometimes I have struggled with in the past. It's not due to just overwhelming feeling of loneliness, because I've really gotten used to and enjoyed my own company. I will hopefully be a well-rounded, fully formed human woman who can have a hopefully well-rounded, fully formed other human adult partner who treats me like a queen. That's pretty much it. All right, y'all. Well, I'm sweating my ass off and I need to probably go take another shower. When you're watching this, I'm probably somewhere enjoying my birthday week, so I'll have a drink for you. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!